Okay, answering another question. This is an unedited, just answering email. This one is from, I guess I won't say who because it's kind of, might be something embarrassing. I don't know. I don't know how she feels about it. I think, yeah, well, it's a female. Yeah, I think it's a female. Anyway, I mean, it could be a gay guy, but, okay, so not to get into too much detail, but this person emailed me and they just want a little advice, and she's Australian and he's Japanese, and they've been chatting online for a while. And long story short, she says at the end they've been chatting, and she has a boyfriend. She has a boyfriend. We don't know anything much about him except that they've been chatting apparently in Japanese. Maybe there's some English. I don't know his English level. So there's a lot of unknown factors here. What I do know is that the eventual fear that this woman has, okay? She's been chatting with him. She has a boyfriend. It's not cheating. The Japanese guy, let's call him Toru, just for argument's sake. Toru and Susan, okay? Just to make it easy. So Susan, he has been chatting with Toru online. And one day, she's been calling him a senpai in the comments, in the chatting, I guess, whatever, the little window. By the way, senpai is okay. You don't want to overuse it. When you become friendly with someone, I don't really use it anymore. But it's kind of, like on YouTube, I like to call people who've been here before me as senpais. But there are a few of them in the Japanese blogging community. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Here's the point. At the end of the conversation, right before he jumps offline, he said something that shocked her a bit. And what were these 3 terrible words? I love you. Well, 4 words. I love you, bye. And she's afraid that she may not be able to remain on a friendly basis with him if his intention is romantic. First of all, in truth, I have nothing. I have no idea. I don't know this guy. It could mean nothing. It could be something. I don't really know his intentions. He might have a girlfriend. I don't know that. So basically, I can't really tell you anything. But I will tell you this. It's been my experience that the word "I love you" when a Japanese person says it, or from a Japanese understanding, is different from a Western understanding. In fact, the whole idea of love is a recent import into the Japanese culture. Someone can look it up. I'm sure some smart aleck moron can give us the dates on when love was introduced, or the concept of Western love was introduced to Japan. Remember in the old days, everything was omiai, which means arranged marriages, and love, or I guess the romantic bond that exists between men and women was something that was expected to grow from spending time together. That's one thing. Also, let's not kid ourselves. The whole idea of romantic love was introduced to the Western culture hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and now it's been kind of mutated and propagated and twisted and perverted by Hollywood movies, and it's just, and movies like Twilight, who really knows what love is anymore? Though, if you feel it, you know what I'm talking about. It's like pornography. I can't explain it, but I know it when I see it, right? But anyway, to the point, when a Japanese person says "I love you," or the Japanese person's this is a generality. When their general idea of "I love you" using the LOVE word is not exactly the same. I had a girlfriend here a long time ago, one of many, and she always used to sign her. She'd lived in the States for 1 year as a high school student, and she used to sign her letters "Love ya, love ya," and she thought that was kind of cute. But of course, if you're in a serious relationship, and I suppose that was serious. She's dead now. I don't know. Mysterious. Long story. I have an alibi, but but anyway, at the time, it annoyed me, and I told her, you say "love ya" to like friends, not to people like you and me. The way you and I are. Actually, I should have just left well enough alone with her. I made her too Western in the end, but. Anyway, the point being that they don't see it the same way. Okay? So when a Japanese person says "I love you," often they actually mean "I really like you" a lot. Some are quick to say, "I love you," not realizing that the traditional Western idea of love, "I love you," is not "I love you." It's I love you. That those are very difficult words to say, or are supposed to be traditionally, or maybe that's just contortion of my exposure to Hollywood movies. I don't know, but all I've got to say to this woman who's emailing me asking me for advice is, you're really just gonna have to say, oh, you know what I would suggest, if you want to keep him as a friend, just bring your boyfriend into the conversation more. Ignore what he said. Don't bring it up. Ask him if he's met any girls. Make sure it's very clear by the content of the conversation that you're not interested in that kind of romantic relationship, and either he'll get the point or he won't. I will introduce to you a kind of mistake that I made many years ago. I knew a girl that was talking to me mysteriously. I'd met her at a party. She was, long story short. Anyway, we got to talking on the phone a lot, and it turns, I didn't know this, but from our conversation, I thought, this was going somewhere, and it was my imagination. Because then I realized she had a boyfriend, and then I thought, oh, but she must be interested in me because she's spending all this time with me on the phone. So when I actually kind of, I guess, confronted her, I said, you must be unhappy with your boyfriend or something because, you're talking with me. Turns out she wasn't interested. So she was really, she just wanted to be friendly, but, I mistook it. And, I've got experience, but I made a mistake. So it depends on the individual. Another example, that's happened a couple of times where you think a girl's interested but she's not. But then again, there's been other girls who, and I'm not talking about just my experience, but other Gaijin's experience I'm going to bring into this conversation, where the woman has professed not to be interested in it, just to be friends, but suddenly in the end, it's apparent that she's actually very romantically interested in the person. But this is not limited to a Japanese Western dynamic. This, of course, happens in the West as well. When I was in college, there was this girl, or high school, who professed she didn't like me at all, but in the end, when it was time to part, she broke down and declared her love for me, which I was surprised at. But you have to remember, and you're probably thinking, right, yeah, sure, Victor. You have to remember that I was much better looking 25 years ago. So for those of you who are 20 years old, this is the best you're going to ever look. You should remember that and go out and take advantage of it. Okay, so that's all I've got to say to this email. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the email questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.